So what you need to do, there's a couple of things you need to do. If I was you walking in your shoes, it sounds like you know all the right battles to fight, sort of, but you don't have a credible war plan, which is most entrepreneurs. So we don't know why we're fighting those battles. We sort of do, but we don't really know why. And that's not good enough. So what you need to do is put a finish date on your business. When's my business going to be finished and ready to sell to someone else, even if you don't want to sell it? Yeah. And this is crucial, right? So basically what could happen is over 10 years, you could find that you're doing the same year at school on repeat. So you've just got a little bit smarter doing the same year at school, a little bit smarter doing the same year at school. What happens then is you're not making progress. And when you're not making progress, you then end up hating the business. And it's the same with our friendships. If we're not making progress in a friendship or in a relationship, we want to get out of those situations. If we're not making progress in education, we end up hating school, want to get out of the bloody school. And that's the situation that you have there. What you have also is you're an operations manager. You've pushed yourself into a management position where you just fight battles. That's what managers do. They fight the battles coming. But the generals have got to come up with the war plan. And you need to get yourself to be, not a sergeant and a captain. You need to be a general of your business, and you need to work hard to do that. First of all, you need to get rid of all these low value tasks that it sounds like you're doing. Get yourself a PA. Where do you live? So you could probably have an amazing PA for £20,000 a year that will do all your customer service, that will manage all your team, do your payroll, do all of that stuff. So it gives you time to focus on just getting customers. And as soon as you put yourself into the sales manager of the business rather than the operations person, because it's hard to find a good salesperson, easy to find a good operations person. And that's what business owners are good at. You probably got the first few contracts in your business. You went out there and done that stuff. You were the architect of the first, and the architect of getting the first customers, I want you to do that full time. That will then bring in so much more revenue into the business that then you can afford a really good salesperson in the business. Before you do all of that though, what I want you to do is get in your car, book a hotel maybe for a weekend on your own, tell your wife what you're doing so you don't think you're having an affair or anything cheeky like that, and just say, look, I'm going to plan what my business looks like, what's the finish of my business. I don't want no one there. I want to afford myself just 48 hours to plan what this business looks like. Now, the story that I always put as the analogy to go along with this is people that go through the education system. Most people go through education and it's a disaster. They don't know why they're there. They're doing it to kill time. But when you meet someone that says, I want to be a barrister, a lawyer, or a doctor going through the education system, they've said what their war plan is. So all them battles that they're fighting through education to get through, get the best possible grade so I can go to college, then to go to university, to become a barrister, doctor, lawyer, they know why they're doing it, and therefore they fight those battles with so much ease. The problem is with an entrepreneur, you become the judge, jury and executioner of your life. There is no judge, there is no jury, there is no executioner. You're the bloody person that fits all those roles. So you answer to no one, and therefore you can be busy being busy. The next thing about the PA thing, that will change your life. Absolutely change your life. For £20,000 a year, you will be just rewarded an extra 30 hours a week to actually grow your business rather than run your business. It sounds like to me you're really running the business, not building the business, which again is most people. So if you can, for that tiny, weeny little investment, don't think, I think a lot of people think, oh, I've got a bloody PA, I sound like a right old show off. Like, just get over that as soon as you can, and don't fudge the system and get a family member to do it, or someone that's a friend. Get a proper PA, like Lord Sugar would have, like bloody, a Prime Minister would have, someone that will, some of the tasks, like if I'm feeling a little bit peckish during the day, I say to my PA, can you go and get me some lunch? Give me more time to actually do the stuff, rather than, you're never going to say that to your wife. She's just going to think, no, get your own bloody lunch, you lazy git. So I want you to be able to, use this PA to give you more hours to get customers. It'll transform your life, Chris. Yeah. Absolutely transform your life. Then it's all about systems and processes, and putting the right stuff in place. But until it's all about, there's only 24 hours in a day, and we all get those 24 hours. If you're spending 10 hours a day on family stuff and blah, 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 and then 4 hours on leisure and then 10 hours to yourself. If you're doing operation stuff for 8 of those hours, then 2 of those hours on growing the business in terms of getting customers. I want to flip that. I want you to spend 2 hours on operations and 8 hours on growing the business. So people ask me, well, how have you done what you've done? Is I've spent more time getting customers, doing deals, raising finance than operations. I don't know what bloody goes on in this business anymore, because I've put a selection of great management into the business. And a great business works on this, and I'll teach you this later. This little process here is E plus M equals S. So it's entrepreneurship plus management equals success. You're spending too much in the M. M is very important, don't get me wrong. You look at a McDonald's or a Starbucks or a Costa Coffee or an Apple, they're micromanaged businesses to the nth degree, but they also have a good strong E, the entrepreneur, the mover, shaker, the maker, doer. And if you spend too much time here and not enough time here, you're screwed. Now also the other businesses have too much time over here and don't invest in enough M. So your first M will be your PA, the management DNA. They'll manage your life. They'll all do your appointment settings, and you'll be away. And that £20,000 investment in someone like that could make you £250,000 a year on your bottom line, because now you're a marketeer. You're a getting customers person. And if that was my business, that's what I would do. Yeah. Entrepreneurs and business owners start, they say, right, I need a marketing manager, a sales manager, or a fantastic operations manager. And I'm like, well, they're three, like, to get good people. First of all, a good salesperson, I would want to go and work at BMW, Mercedes. Someone walks through the door and I can bring in £3-4 million worth of sales a year, and I can do that easily. Why do I want to go and work for a startup and actually struggle? And one of those guys, they'll be on 150 grand a year. A decent salesperson can command that sort of salary. You're not going to get that person easy. The same with a marketing person. A very good marketing person either becomes an entrepreneur because they know how to get customers, or they go for the six-figure salaries in the cities where they know they can do that really well. And you'll always be disenfranchised with a mid-level person that just doesn't think like you do. They don't challenge your thinking. They just be a technician in effect. So that's why I say to people starting up like you, get yourself a PA so that you can do the high level stuff, because you're not just going to get an operations man, a decent operations person you're not going to pay the salary for. Then you're going to hate them, and you'll stay the classic thing that entrepreneurs say, if you can't do a job well, do it yourself. All of that stuff. Oh, they don't think like me. It's because they're not, all my management team are better than me. If you come meet my MD Aaron, you'll be like, how can I have him? If you met Lisa, how can I have him? Janky, Tracy, all my senior people, how can I have them? You got to pay decent money, but I didn't do that in the first 7 years. I got in, my first employer was a cleaner. I moved out when I was 17 and I started cleaning my own house. I thought, stuff this, £10 an hour. That gave me some more, it weren't then, it was about £5 an hour back then. That gave me more time to get customers. Next person was a part-time administrator, then a full-time administrator. So I could reward myself to do the higher value tasks, because I knew I couldn't afford great people, and good people don't want to go and work for startups really. Unless it's a really well-funded startup and it's a startup with a person running it that's got a vision and a history of doing it all before. So once you've given yourself, get rid of all that tutty tasks, I call them, tasks that just need to be done but not need to be done by you. And I think, I've sat with loads of Brits and entrepreneurs that, they feel, oh, I don't want to say I've got a PA. I sound like, it's like owning a Rolls Royce type thing. I don't want to say I've got that. But why not? It's going to make a massive difference to your life. I mean, the next step, and then, it's the same thing about getting an FD. I've got a fully qualified accountant that works for me, on a proper salary that's better than my accountant that you would get in practice. Change your life. I should have done that 3 years ago, and I didn't. It took me longer to do it, and I know the answers, and I'm just imploring you, get rid of that so that you can do the higher value tasks. Every time you're doing a low value task, answering an email, doing a paperwork exercise like that, think, right, this is a low value task, someone else could do this, so I can do the higher value task for the bigger vision of the business. So war plan first of all, that weekend away, actually know what you want to build. Sometimes, I just think it's just such a lonely place, what we all do, that, you sort of have to, sometimes no one gives us permission to do that stuff because you're in charge, aren't you? And it's a disaster, Sometimes you need the teacher to say, no, you should do this instead. And it's just, I feel sorry for us all, really, that there is no one to turn to, really. Your friends won't be like you. Most of my friends are not business owners. My other half says to me, why do I do all this stuff? Why do I keep growing? It's because it's in me. It's a DNA thing, and that you just have to, that's who you are. So if it was me, so the biggest skill in marketing is understanding copy. Because if you understand copy, you can understand design so much better. You can understand what makes a good website, what makes people convert. You can then tell the coders and the web designers where to put stuff better. So the best skill out of any marketer, once they, because if you're scripting a video to get people to action, you're going to be a better video editor once you understand copy. So the fact that you understand copy, to me, is the best skill as a marketeer. Now, if it was me, I would be building, because you've already got, that's already started, yeah?
Yeah.
And you prefer marketing. I would build a marketing agency, start to look to build people around that marketing agency. So even if you outsource to another web company, you do their marketing reviews, you do marketing consultancy. So you actually stop doing the stuff for them and tell them what to do, which is far more enjoyable. So you critique and review everyone's stuff. You start putting content out on LinkedIn and YouTube for free. Basically what I do, giving free advice away. So you build a following, then you get some consultancy clients, and you build that business up, and you say, I've got my marketing business solely to fund deposits for my property business. Because whatever business that you do, you're always in the business of marketing. So your deal sourcing business, you're going to have to be a marketeer to find the clients and find the properties. So you're always marketing. You never stop. And if you don't like marketing, then don't be in business.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, absolutely, it's true. If you ask me what I really see myself as for my businesses, I'm a marketeer. I go over copy for hours. I know what good copy looks like.
Yeah.
Well, you have if you're good at it, and I don't know, I haven't seen some of your stuff, but then you should thank your lucky stars. You're just like most copywriters, not putting it in the right box.
Yeah.
You're doing low value clients and not the good value clients.
Yeah, I suppose so.
The reason you hate it is you're pushing for business, not pulling business towards you. So I just pull loads of, literally all my one-to-one clients, people that work with me on a one-to-one, I've got a waiting list. I could have hundreds of clients doing it. I can't take anyone else on because I've only got a fine amount of time. And that's because I put all that content out there on LinkedIn, on YouTube, like you guys have all come in. None of you guys have been here today because I've done any paid for advertising. I've pulled everyone towards me rather than push for leads. As soon as you can switch your business to a pull mentality rather than a push mentality, you'll enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, I suppose that's what I know.
I just hate businesses where you have to find new customers every month, even if you've got other people working for you. You've got to manage those people. I'm like, oh my God, it's so flipping stressful. It's my first business. We're an entertainment business. We go and do a fantastic party for someone, like a wedding. We go and do a wedding for someone. They'd love us. They think we're fantastic. And they say, well, if you get divorced, will you think of us again? We lost the customer. So it takes all that work to find a customer that buys from you once or forever. So I'm just not keen on that. That's why, these businesses, you're in one of my leisure businesses right now, our whole methodology is to get them to be into members. We know our members come 10 times a year. We know non-members come 1.5 times a year. That's why I love day nurseries. You get someone at 1 year old, they leave you at 5, the customer repeats for 4 years every single month. It's why you like property to rent out. You get a tenant and they pay you every single month. Most businesses don't operate like that. They start from zero each month. And then the smart ones like Netflix, Sky, insurance brokerage, accounting, mortgage lending, where people pay you every single month, it's a lot less stressful. So if you are in the business of selling once, as long as it's profitable and you invest that into other things, then I'm all right with that. Or you tie in a way of getting people to repeat buy from you so that the business is a way of finding customers for you. They're your most customers, but then you have your ideal customers within that pond. So let me give you an example of that. So yeah, here would be admissions, but there'd be members. So or here there would be the day nursery, but we've got this 200,000 visitors to find the 400 ideal customers for the day nursery and the 5,000 ideal customers for membership. So our most customers that only buy from us once gives us the chance to have a pool to fish in to find our ideal customer. Marketing consultancies are a great business.
Yeah.
It's just you've just chosen the copywriting thing. Don't get into the business of building people's websites and all of that. A consultancy business that shows people how to get customers. The reason most people come to my stuff is because they want to know how to get customers. And find business owners that you can educate on marketing. They won't do the marketing, they'll just be a great client because they'll understand what you're doing.
Yeah. 100%.
It's all about content, first of all, so that you pull, not push. Most people are pushing for business. If you can start pulling business towards you, life becomes fabulous. So with content marketing, it works, but you've got to invest like 2 years into it. Most people give up. So that they'll see someone do some content marketing, God, bloody hell, he's got loads of views and all these things. I'll have a go at that. They do one video, hasn't really worked. They go, I have to do it. They do 10 videos, hasn't really worked. I mean, I literally do stuff every single day, and we've had more successes in the last 2 months compared to the first 2 years. It's 2 years of work, done nothing. But I didn't mind because it was leveraged work. I'll make a video, we'll reuse that video. So I'll make this a video, I'll also make it as a podcast. Like basically what I'm trying to get at is if you're doing unleveraged work that's once, like, and then repeats and repeats, you have to do it again and again and again. That's not smart to do. Yeah. So I try and fit myself into only doing once work. So buying a business, that's a deal. I do it once and I get paid forever. I write a book, I do it once and it works for me forever. I make a video, I do it once, I get work forever. As soon as you're into that, life changes. Absolutely, it changes. So when you think about my early career, I'd do a kids' party for someone, and then that was it. I'd have to go and do another kids' party, do another event, hire another piece of equipment. I was like, oh my God, this is so stressful. Like I was in this world where I had to keep on getting customers. And then I had my properties that I was just building up on the side, and I thought, hang on a second, I'll find a tenant. And Pat stayed there for 7 years and paid me every month. I've only had to do the work once, done the deal, buy the property once, find the tenant once, and in that situation stayed for a long time. I thought, oh my God, I want a business like this. That's why we like property investment. Deep down, if you deep down look at why we like property investment, it's because it's leveraged work and it's passive. And you can find passive customers, but the most customers are unpassive, and it's about creating a system that the unpassive customer, some of them becomes passive customers. Yeah. That's why you meet someone that's got a decent insurance brokerage, they have a great life. Because at the end of the 12 months, that customer goes, actually, I still got this property, I need it reinsured again. I still got this business, I need it reinsured again. So they find the customer and they repeat, and oh, what a fabulous business that is. That's why accountants, they can predict pretty much what their turnover looks like in 5 years' time. Yeah, because they know their customers don't leave them. Same with commercial lawyers and solicitors. My solicitor's been my solicitor for 12 years. And she just gets more and more work from me every year. She's found me, and I repeat. The problem with deal sourcing thing is you might find some high net worth individuals that will buy a property from you maybe once every 2 years, but it's just like, oh, it's a hard work thing. Whereas you could use that deal sourcing knowledge you build up, find your own deals, buy your own deals, but you're going to run out of deposits. But not if you've got a business that's profitable that can so you just say, right, my marketing business funds my property deposits to fund me getting more property. That's my passive income. More marketing into property, and then I fund the fun out of it. So then you would list down, so you need to come up, so you've got your profit, you've got your revenue, then you need to list what your dream team looks like when the business is finished in, say, 5 years' time. So the classic thing is with you is with most people, as you see the pattern going around here, is you're not affording yourself just a couple of days to work out what your war plan is. You sort of know, but you don't really know. So if you go to a private equity company and they go, right, let me just walk you through what a private equity company is. They meet you and they go, yeah, we like you, Jimmy. We're going to put £3 million investment into your business, but in 5 years' time, this is what it's going to look like. This will be the profit, this will be the revenue, this will be the team that are running it, and this will be, this will be the value of what it'll be like in 5 years' time. And that's how they think. Yeah. And that's why they're always so successful and they make a lot of money. Yeah. You know, if you look at Facebook, private equity, venture capitalists, they put money into it and they say, right, we want it to do this, this and this when it's finished. That's the best thing that we as small business owners, I'm not talking about small business owners, someone turning up to 30 million quid. So that's most businesses, what we can learn from those people. When you think about a property investment, you'll buy it and you go, right, in 10 years' time, I think it's going to be worth this, and this is what the revenue that I'm going to make out of the property. You actually know, don't you? Yeah. You know the finished deal of the property. Yeah. Then with a business, right, there's so many anomalies, but why does there have to be so many anomalies? Let's do it, think of it as a property deal. I want this business to be worth this, this and this by the time I go and sell it. Well, so this is the common theme, isn't it? But you've all got great business. I'm not, but it's just like when you know what you want to build and what it looks like when it's finished. And I think it's a really British, like when you go to, like meet American people, they're like really proud to say, I want to live in a big house, like I want to have this and I want my business to do this. I think we get compressed here in the UK, like literally from school, not to be too showy offy. And I'm not, going out there and telling the world, but when you look at politics and you think about politicians, the ones that we follow are the ones that can tell you what their end game is, whether we like them or not. And that's really crucial. So I do this little trick with people. I say, name 10 politicians that you know. And they struggle to get past 5. And they will mention people from both sides of the political sphere. So they'll mention Jeremy Corbyn, they'll mention Nigel Farage, Donald Trump always gets a look in. Whoever the Prime Minister is at the time, so she gets a look in, Theresa, and Boris Johnson. They're the 5 that people quickly, that come straight off of their head before they have to really think about it. Then they might say the Chancellor Exchequer, then they might say someone else. But they're the 5 that quickly come to mind. The 5 that come to mind are marketeers. Other than the Prime Minister, that's only there because of title. So the other 4, Donald Trump, marketing, Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson, Jeremy Corbyn, are very good at marketing their messages. So that's people on both sides of the political sphere. Now, they do this thing where you can attract or repel to them. So some people might be repelled to Boris Johnson, other people are attracted to him. Same with Jeremy Corbyn, attracted to him or repelled to him. Same with Donald Trump, attracted or repelled. But you know what they want to achieve, and that's why you can be attracted or repelled. And at the end of the day, that's great marketing in many ways. You either attract or repel people, and you know what their end game is, and that's why you're attracted or repelled to them. Now, if you can copy those famous politicians that can say, Boris Johnson writes every Monday in the Telegraph, he's putting out marketing. If you want to know what great copywriting is, by the way, read an article by Boris Johnson. Whether you love him or loathe him, it's like genius copywriting. That is genius. It's funny, it's readable, blah, blah, blah. We've got to wrap this up, haven't we, Chance? Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, there's people waiting.
Yeah, okay. And so, but these guys, like Donald Trump, people, the simple little things like his end game. He wants to build this blooming wall, and everyone knows what his end games are. That's it. And for the people that are really attracted to this, get the immigrants out and all this rubbish, they can be really attracted to that. They know the end. They know what his finished plan is. And and the same with Jeremy Corbyn. He wants to tax the rich more, and people that are attracted to that can get really attracted to that, or they can be repelled. And you've got to have a manifesto really, gang. And that's what successful people have, a manifesto of what the future looks like and what their end game is.